YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction video. We've got some more Metallica today. We're keeping going with Metallica. At this point, they're a staple of the channel. You don't need me to introduce Metallica, but I'm excited for today's because this one actually is a little bit of backstory as to how I've ended up on this particular song. We're doing Fight Fire with Fire. Now, the reason why I ended up on this one is because I was listening to Creeping Death last night on Spotify, and I just played the individual song. And obviously, Spotify, if you don't use Spotify, Spotify does this thing where if you just put like an individual song on from search, it plays that song, and then it'll just keep playing music based on that song, basically. So I listened to Creeping Death, and then after, based on that song and based on your interests and music that you like and music that you've listened to before, the algorithm will just keep playing music. And it played that song, and then it played, I think it played Power Slave, and then it played something else, and then it played Fight Fire with Fire. I immediately saw when it changed to Fight Fire with Fire and was like, oh, I haven't heard that one, that might be spoilers, so I'll pause it. The first 5 seconds I heard of this song before I paused it intrigued me, and that intrigue was enough to come and I'm now listening to it today. So, Fight Fire with Fire, and I'm excited because we've only got 3, including this one, 3 more tracks of Ride the Lightning to do. We have this, we have Trapped Under Ice, and we have Escape. So I may, I don't know, unless people want to see other stuff, I may potentially just do Escape and Trapped Under Ice as the next Metallica reactions, so that I can have Ride the Lightning finished, and then I can finally listen to an album from front to back, which is not something I've been able to do with Metallica yet. So, regardless, I'm doing Fight Fire with Fire now. I reckon I'll probably do Trapped Under Ice and Escape relatively soon. This is the album opener. I'm excited because it's been a great album so far. I've loved every track I've heard from this album. So I'm excited. Let's get it. Track 1, Fight Fire with Fire. This little acoustic. I was sucked in. It reminds me of Fade to Black already. I couldn't find a lyric video or anything, so we just listened. Oh, there we go. Dude, it's thick as Metallica. Trying to listen to what he's saying, you know? It's very Metallica. This is early, but this is very Metallica. This feels like, and it's only the second album, but this feels like when they started to be like, bam, here's Metallica. I feel like this was a great next step from Kill 'Em All. I feel like, to me personally, like I feel like you come off the back of Kill 'Em All and you go into this where they started to refine the sound a little bit more, develop the sound a little more, whatever you want to say. This one, that felt very Metallica. They did the little acoustic-y and then they bring you in, and then bam, you got hit with what now, looking back, is I can say feels like a very Metallica riff. Obviously, at the time, that was not necessarily the case because it was still, you know, obviously this was new. And now that I'm looking back, having heard a bunch of Metallica from this point onwards, I could say it was very Metallica riff. But that felt like they were like, okay, you've heard Kill 'Em All, you were impressed by Kill 'Em All, then yeah, welcome to more. This is what we do. Here's what we do. Here's what we do. And I'm trying to like keep up with it because there's some bits where it's slowing down and there's some bits where it's really fast and like zipping back and forth. I'm having a good time though. it's jumping between. It takes little breaks and then it speeds up, and then it takes a little break and then it speeds up. Different. I've got to say, the Ride the Lightning solos are undefeated. I don't know what to. That was interesting to me because that was a little different. The second half of that, I loved it, but it felt a little bit like I feel like that was something maybe if I was more well versed in metal, I could compare a little bit better. Be like, oh, that reminded me of this band, or that sounded influenced by this band. Unfortunately, I don't quite have the references in the back pocket to pick out yet. But it was a little bit different. I'm interested to know if there's anything in particular people are like, oh, it sounds like this band or this band. Let me know. I like that. But the solos so far, the solos on this album are truly undefeated. Already, the Ride Lightning solo and the Screaming Death solo are two of my favourite guitar solos, period, that we've done so far, let alone Metallica. And obviously, Fade to Black, I just adore the whole song. The standards, they came out the gate. Kill 'Em All, from what I've heard so far, was already an incredible starting point. But they came out the gate and was like, yeah, we don't slow up. This is the standard. This is the standard we're at here. So strap in. Like, the pun not intended, but also because there's an electric chair. So anyway, you know. It's so Metallica. This is like they're coming into their own, I feel. Finally, it's like we're caught together. And then they cool it off with a little bang there. What's track 2? What does this lead into? Have we done track 2? Oh, it leads into Ride the Lightning. It leads into Ride the Lightning. Yeah, dude. This felt like, as I said in the middle of where it was going. This feels like they were starting to come into their own here, if that makes sense. Or this feels like, as I said, what we've done from Kill 'Em All has been great so far. Like, they really came like sprinting out of the gates and pulled no punches. But I feel like, oh shit, something's playing. Oh, it's playing Orion. It's okay. We've done Orion. That's not spoilers. They really kind of they already pulled no punches in the first album, and now it feels like, okay, well, they've come out of the gates. They've come out swinging. Now they're more about developing their own sound and their sort of style a bit more, but still being like, hey, this is the standard. This is the standard we set. It's incredibly high. I will read the lyrics a little bit here. I did read it at the start. It talks about the world's impending apocalypse caused by nuclear warfare and bloodshed. Do unto others as they've done to you, but what the hell is this world coming to? I feel like I'm looking really high up here at my laptop. Blow the universe into nothingness, nuclear warfare shall lay us to rest. Okay, so that's pretty much, I mean, if the song's talking about nuclear warfare, the line nuclear warfare shall lay us to rest. I don't really know what analysis you want me to do on that one. Fight fire with fire, we all shall die. So I guess in that sense it's just saying, like, you know, an eye for an eye makes a whole world blind sort of situation. Like, if you look at nuclear warfare is terrifying, because it really can, and he has a point actually. He's right. It really can just like destroy so much so quickly. I think the idea of being like, okay, if someone launches a nuclear attack on you, like you've got to launch it back, right? Like, what are you not just gonna take? Like, what you've got to launch it back, and then you're gonna go and, you know, they're gonna light your country on fire. You're gonna go and light their country on fire. I'm not naming any countries here, but if one country engaged in nuclear warfare with another country nowadays, and then the other one went back, obviously, you know, you look at like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The point was that was so big that it was like, okay, this is going to end the war, and I don't really want to go into that too much, but it was what it was. But now, when everyone, or pretty much everyone, has access to at least some sort of nuclear weaponry, some countries even more powerful than others in that department, if the penny ever drops on nuclear warfare, and I pray that it doesn't, it could destroy the world so quickly. It could tear the world apart. So many people, it would do so much. And dude, I'm getting nervous thinking about it. Why am I getting nervous? I haven't thought about nuclear. It's been a very, I don't know when this video is going up. I'm recording this on New Year's Day, so it's been a very New Year's Eve, New Year's Day existential crisis couple of days, and this is probably wasn't what I needed to get myself back on track, because I'm worried about nuclear bombs and stuff. But yeah, the point. The point is, yeah, if you start you fire, someone's gonna fire back. You start keeping on a level, fighting fire with fire. It's just gonna tear everyone apart. It's just gonna destroy. It's gonna kill everyone. Time is like a fuse, is short and burning fast. Armageddon's here, like said in the past. And again, the fact that that's like, we've reached that point now where that could happen at any moment, and it's going to be irreversible. Like 100 years ago, okay, there's always been wars and battles and everything, but there's always been like they've ended up coming to a limit. Eventually, they've come to a head. It feels like we've now reached that point with nuclear warfare where it could be irreversible. And look at the damage that World War II did, and how long it took to recover from that, and how some countries are still recovering from that. We've just about made it past that, just about, and so, like I said, some countries are still recovering from it, right? We've reached that point now where if this does happen, that really could be like unrecoverable from, like, it will change the face of the planet, and yeah, it could be truly devastating. It could be truly devastating, which is scary. That now we're on the edge now of, I mean, any war is going to be terrifying. We're now on the edge of where, like, okay, we survived World War One just about, we survived World War Two just about. Would the world survive World War Three? I don't know. We're at that point of there could be a point of no return at some point. Soon to fill our lungs, the hot winds of dread, the gods are laughing to take your last breath. Yeah. It was a good song though. Like I said everything I wanted to say about it as a song, and as far as Metallica goes, banger to open the album up. And as I said, I can't wait to listen to the album in whole. So I've done tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got Trapped Under Ice is 5, Escape is 6, and then I've done Creeping Death and Call of Cthulhu. So I'll probably do, unless people like really want otherwise, and obviously at some point I'll go back to other albums as well anyway, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But I'll probably do Trapped Under Ice next, and then Escape after that. So maybe I'll try and do them relatively close together, like maybe whenever this video goes up, maybe like next week, I'll do Trapped Under Ice, and maybe like, you know, instead of it being like, ooh, here's a Metallica video, and then, you know, a month later you finally get another one, I'll try and keep them relatively close together, so that we can get them out of the way, and then I can finally listen to Ride the Lightning in its entirety. Thank you for watching, I hope everyone enjoyed. I don't want to say too much about New Year. I hope you guys had a good New Year's Eve, and hope you guys have had a great start to the New Year, but I don't want to say too much because I don't know. I have such an immense backlog, I don't know when this video is actually going to go up. But I do hope you had a great New Year. So, I hope your year's going well so far. I'm just trying to think, I really have like 15 videos stacked up, which is really unfortunate. So I really need to start slamming some of these videos out. Either way, hope you guys are doing well. I appreciate you all, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Later, guys.